Hello and welcome everyone to Cybercast Episode 72, the Transformer Video Podcast. My name is Josh, also known as G1 Hextron, and I'm joined with my co-host Jaim, also known as Victory Saber 77. No Dakota PrimalSabbath today, but even though he's not here, he's in our hearts. So he was going to be late, so we actually, he's taking the day off basically. But he might join you guys in the comments, so who knows. But Jaim, tell people where they can find you, man.
You can find me Twitter and YouTube, Victory Saber 77, and also the host of the Aftercast. And if you guys want to check that out, it's on my channel. It happens at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. So check that out. We kind of extend what we talk about here on the Cybercast, and we get a whole bunch of other subscribers on there and just start talking about anything and everything. So.
All right, and you can find me, G1 Hextron, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. My Facebook page is the G1 Hextron, and if you guys, I'm accepting friend requests now, so if you guys want to send me one, my name on there is Josh Hollis, which is Hollis. A couple of other things for our community stuff is our website, cybercastnetwork.com. Our Twitter is cybercastnet, and what we're the most active on is our Facebook page, which is Cybercast Network. So all but one thing on here we're going to be bringing up from the Cybercast Network Facebook page. So if you want to go like that, go like that. We have a interesting topic today, and it's something that I'm the most excited for this Cybercast, more than any of the ones that we've done previously, just because of the fact that we're not talking Transformers during the topic. We talked Transformers as a topic for 71 episodes in a row, so we're going to take a break for once and talk about some of the other 80 toy properties that they should be revamped, and we're going to give you kind of like a little history lesson and tell you a little bit about the toys, maybe a little bit about the cartoon, and why we think that these toy properties should get a new cartoon and new toy line as well. And we kind of wanted to stick with they should get both, not just one or the other. Just because in kind of today's market and the way things are done today, I don't think it would survive if it was just a toy on its own or a cartoon all on its own. We're going to stick with Band Ladies, and we got 5 from the 90s that we really did like, and they were kind of early 90s, so we're going to bring those up as well. Just because of the fact that Star Wars, they're coming out with a new cartoon called, oh god, I just lost it. I forgot what the name of it. But anyway, yeah, Rebels. They're coming out with a new cartoon. Ninja Turtles, revamped again. I mean, it's not the first time, and it's very successful. And then Transformers, I mean, they're kind of like a swinging door or rotating door. Out with the old and here's the new. Sometimes, here's the new and it's the same name, so they just put 2.0, which is ridiculous. You'd think they'd be able to come up with something different, but unfortunately, in the naming department, people would be that creative. But we're going to talk a lot about that towards the end of the show. We're going to focus here on the news, but before we get into that, Jaime, you got anything? Any like cool new hauls or anything like that?
No, not really. I'm just opening up a whole bunch of G.I. Joe stuff. That's all I got going on. Sorry.
It's like Christmas every day there at the Saber house.
Yeah, it is.
So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into the news, guys. If you want to join the discussion on what we're going to be talking. Did I screen share this? I don't even think I did. No. Yeah, total. Been doing it right 71 episodes, and then I messed
You're just too excited. You're too excited about the topic. Too excited.
Oh, God. What's going on? Let's see.
Well, real quick, we're joined by Barrett Prime Games, Chris. Just real quick, so thanks for showing up and staying awake for us, Chris. Hopefully you'll be on the Aftercast.
Okay. Is everything showing up right? Whenever I hit that share, it looks like they changed something again, and it's not surprising Google Hangouts would change something again, and I got to relearn this thing. But it is, you're looking at the Cybercast Network
No,
page?
I'm just looking at a whole bunch of dominoed um, screen
God.
here or something. Now I see you again.
Okay, can you see this now? The little thing that we're looking at. They took away the screen button that I usually always use.
Yes.
Okay, so you see it now.
I see a collection, yeah. Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Great. All right. So, anyways, here on our website, we do have a collection section in our forums, and the collection is brought to us by Protecto Botic.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
went
believe
back
that's how
to
you
you.
say that. Yeah.
Just so you know. I'm looking right at you now, not the collection.
What?
Sorry.
What happened to the Google Hangouts? Why is it doing this? All right, let's figure this thing out. So screen and all right, is it on the collection now?
Yes.
Hopefully this the full. But anyways, this is Cybercast Network. I'm member Protected Botic Office Collection. Some pretty cool stuff up here. Piece Voltron, some Dragon Ball Z. Nice selection. I'm not a big fan of the ball, but that's more Dakota. But quite a few pits in here, and thank you for sharing, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Really nice collection. Really do like it. Like the Brave stuff at the end there.
And it looks like he's got two Leo guys. He's got one combined, and then he's got the separated ones there as well.
Cool. That's the way to
Two
do it.
Leo
You gotta
guys.
buy as many as you can. There you go.
Now you're just being selfish. Let some of the rest of us get them. I really want to get back into these little MicroMasters. I love those. And his PrimalSabbath shelf. So looks like he's mainly G1, which is awesome. Obviously, a big Dragon Ball Z fan. And I don't remember these little things here. I thought I knew what all the '80s kind of were trying to be Transformers, like Zybots and stuff like that. I thought I knew them all, but I've never heard of these Maxi Secto Robos. I don't know if that's new or it, it might be kind of like a little knockoff thing or something.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's really cool. You can definitely tell. You can definitely tell that it's '80s style packaging, especially with the little round corners too,
Mm-hmm.
and the card art. He's got an original Fort Max, and not the reissue. That's what it looks like. I don't see a Master Sword anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like some of those little things there, so I don't recognize any of. It's unique though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that shelf. Section, Ultron. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Bloodslinger, this guy right here, has probably got one of the top 5 best head sculpts of any G1, even any transfer. I just love his head sculpt. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. I would agree.
I really like to get a masterpiece, Slugslinger.
Now you're pushing it.
Then he's gonna. What's up?
Now you're pushing it, though. There's a,
There's a long list that needs to be made.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, brave stuff. You can
Yep.
see the masterpiece back there, and is it Geister?
Dino Geist and
What's his name? Dino Geist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God Max, Ultra Raker.
And Great Goldran. You got Pegasus Saber, Seven Changer. So, man, awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like that collection. It's got a bit of everything. Mostly G1 stuff.
Oh, yeah. The Brave stuff should be in the DTOF shelf, so.
Oh yeah.
But that's just me.
It's from that light. If he let too much light get on that Great Goldran, then it's just going to reflect all over the room, and it's just be way too bright in there. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Our friends over at Karyudo Fan Subs, they have done another fan sub, and this time they have completed Transformers Zone. So if you're interested in going and watching that, they do a really good job. And they interpret it, or they interpret the way that you'd want to hear it, like if you knew Japanese, what they're actually saying, and not the kind of American version or English version. So they do a fantastic job, and if you want to go check that out, it's karyudofansubs.blogspot.ca. So definitely go check them out.
Yes, definitely. And they also do a lot of extra stuff too. If you want to know more about like the actual anime, I think they put in some extras, so really nice.
It looks like they've got the DVD bonus material, commercials, clean opening specials. They also have scans and stuff like that, and some of the music and themes. So a lot there. If you don't know how to spell it, to go there. Then it's also on our Cybercast Network Facebook page as well, and you can just click that, and you'll be taken there. All right, so getting into the toy news, no Hasbro stuff. It's Takara. All Takara, the masterpiece and third party. But here you have the, I guess, kind of Age of Extinction, Wheeljack, Matrix head Wheeljack. But some in-hand images. Now, as I've said that I don't like this, there are people that have let me know that this is something that they wanted. So.
I mean, if you really like Wheeljack, then yeah, you'll pick up this, if you're a fan. But for me, I don't know. I just think it's kind of pushing the envelope. I don't know. Doesn't look good to me, but it's nice to get one.
It's kind of to be expected, because all the other movies they had characters that never appeared in the movie. They had already done that with the Dinobots as well, and they're coming out with them, and people are buying them. So I guess why not? You're a little curious why his back windows rolled down, but whatever.
Now that would be a really cool feature if you could roll down the windows.
That would be something to have.
Yeah.
All right, so the Million Publishing exclusive is Go Shooter, and it looks like he's going to have a little Target Master here. It's basically going to be a repaint of, well, I guess with the head and everything, of the Nightbeat, which is the Generation's little Camaro Bumblebee. Was the original there. So, cool for them. I really want to shoot him, but I want an actual headmaster.
Yeah.
I'm holding out. Hasbro, I got faith. Or Cara, I've got faith. Whichever one of you. I do have faith there.
We don't want Hasbro doing it, because then we'll get a Siren. We don't want that.
Oh, I want all of them. I want all three and everything. So, all right. Also, Takara, you have sky-byte, and these are more original toy accurate colors, correct?
I don't actually have the original sky-byte, so I don't know.
Oh,
So, but it.
not sure if it is, but
So they went with toy accuracy,
color,
and then Hasbro went with more show accuracy as far as color.
this looks like you're gonna need some chrome little bits. Or the shins are actually white, but these little chrome bits right here. I'm not sure if the original. He also has chrome teeth and chrome at the face. So does the Hasbro version have all that chrome?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think it does. I
No.
don't think it does. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it looks nice, but I'll stick with the Hasbro version.
Oh yeah. I just wanted him so he could hold depth charge. So. All right. So something that a lot of people have been commenting on is the Hasbro Jetfire, and a lot of people said they don't like the red chrome, on the weapons and the armor set and stuff like that. That they, this is what we kind of saw in the picture was a like red gun and then black, little missile here, and then the red holder and the black gun, and then we got the red chrome. And a lot of people had concerns about that or stood out. Me, I don't. I think it's fine. But this is actually the Takara version. So I think what we were in the early picture stages was the Takara version because like even on the box it shows that red I believe and then black little guns here. This is actually the Takara. Now, which one do you kind of? People can kind of get whatever. So if you got concerns about spend a little bit of extra, get yourself Takara.
Yeah. It's just odd that usually Takara is the one who does the chrome, and Hasbro usually doesn't do the chrome. It's kind of weird that it's vice versa, but I'll stick with the chrome. I mean, I like it. If I was playing with the toy lot, then I'd maybe have some problems with the chrome just because it's gonna, flake off or scratch and all that. But I'm just gonna have it in robot mode. Gonna be on the shelf, doing all nice and pretty.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of curious about, because the some of these people that are like, yeah, it's gonna flake and stuff like. Do all these adult collectors really like spend 5 hours a day playing with their toys? Because I don't. My stuff, as long as it can usually get through, if it can get through at least 3 or 4 transformations, and that's with doing reviews, then it's going to survive.
Yeah.
So, I never mess with my toys. Once in a while, I'll take some pictures, Instagram or something like that, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But,
does that cockpit look really large on that plane?
Yeah, I believe you have 2 seats in here.
Okay, it just looks really. Maybe it's the angle of how they took the picture. It just really looks big.
Yeah, I think it's the angle, and also I wonder. You know what I'm going to try out? I haven't seen anyone else do it yet, but take one of the little masterpiece bolt drivers or whatever like that, or Dr. Arkaville, and put them in there. I wonder if they fit in there. I haven't seen anyone do that yet.
Yeah, because it is you can open that canopy up, so that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, well, one, give us an open canopy, and you don't give us anything to put in there. I don't know. It's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
So, moving along.
Real
kind of missed
quick
Dakota, man.
Real quick, some comments. Let's go with Charles. Saw that G18 face, man. I still wish he had his. Chris says Wheeljack looks nice. It's something different and doesn't look like a generic G1 version. He also states that Sky-byte looks too odd for me. His legs look damn ugly. He stares at his chest and has stupid gorilla arms. All right. Thank you, Chris. Dalton says a million Milton Publishing Ghost Shooter would be a good stand-in until a proper Headmaster version comes out, and loving the Takara Sky-byte, but with Jetfire, I prefer the Hasbro version with the Chrome. Also, that Milton Publishing is going to be not a cheap figure, though, either. The Matrix,
No.
Charles said, the Matrix head wheeljack, Optimus, Light Our Darkest Hour, opens Matrix, wait, why isn't this thing working? And try and cut the swearing to a minimum. Charles, sorry, wheeljack, he states. So, there we go.
Charles, I'm not gonna have any of that in my comments.
No Twitter mouth. No Twitter mouth. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, or I think my mic is muted now, so and it's not. Dalton. But anyways, more Takara stuff. Here you have the breakout theme or dirty cab version of Invasion Mode Optimus Prime. He's a dirty old man. But yeah,
Oh man,
there you go.
it's just sad that that Takara Toys R Us exclusive. I mean, we get it in the
Well, you're gonna get a Hasbro version, but I don't think it's gonna be as good.
yeah.
This is a easy pass for me. Well, one, I haven't bought Extinction fig, but, and we'll see later with the add-ons. I am going to buy my first Bayformer figure. I actually was going to buy it last night or even today. I couldn't find it, but I'm going to get this guy. But I want the one with a faceplate. Like, I want this head and not this like open weird mouth thing. Now we've talked about whenever we talk about the Bayformer stuff, it just kind of like as soon as we get done talking about it, I completely forget about it because I don't care. But I know we've talked about there's one out there with a faceplate. Which one is that? Do you remember?
Is it the Takara?
That's this color. Is it the Takara? Am I gonna have to go with Takara
You might
to
be.
get a faceplate? Someone in the comments let me know. Is it the Takara one that's this G1 color scheme that has the faceplate? I don't want the open mouth, and it's all because of this add-on. So
Yeah, that add-on is
I heard this.
really nice.
I heard this thing is just ridiculous to transform to.
Great. So I wonder how many steps it is. 52.
It'll tell you on the package, I'm sure. I don't know why they started doing that. It doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah.
it's like Little Saber. If it's got over 10 steps, not getting it.
Yeah.
Never really show off packaging, but I thought this looked really cool. This is going to be for the Takara Legends series. Here you have Rat Trap in its packaging, and there's obviously no window right here. It's just kind of open, but this is the box, man. I think that is really collector friendly, and it's kind of a throwback in ways because you got the little animation art over here on the right hand side, and it's the box. It just this feels very G1. This is very cool.
Yeah. I like it. I've always liked the Takara boxes. Something that I wish we got more here in the States through Hasbro, but
Oh yeah. I mean, it's totally collector friendly too, because if you wanted to open up, just cut that tape, take it out, and you can always put it back in there. I mean, it's good to go. Yeah, but I miss Dakota with him, especially whenever we talk about this stuff, because I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. With his like little random comments and the arguments. I miss you, buddy. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, dries tears. You're gonna get like some Transformer Collectors Club Rodimus here. in 2015. This what is this a repaint of?
Uh, Wolfang, I think, and
Is that in?
Canine from Beast Wars.
Hmm. Does that work for you? I mean, are you satisfied with this? Does this
Uh,
make you want to go sign up for the 2015 subscription service?
no, I don't want that figure, but I know there's a lot of people out there that probably want that, like Proto Man. But other than that,
Proto Man. Somewhere Proto Man. Are you guys crazy? That thing's fantastic.
no, I don't really want it. I mean, as far as the mold, I'm not too familiar, you know, with is that the perfect mold for Rodimus? But I'm sure Dakota would know. I mean, I like the color scheme. I mean, obviously it fits the character, but as far as like him turning into a dog, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I'm a pass. So, still there, Josh? Well, we've lost Josh here. So let's see what we got in the comments. Chris. Prime looks like he's made out of white chocolate. Ooh, delicious. Dalton, the Evolution 2-pack has the faceplate and comes with a Chug Prime. Okay, there we go. And also digging the Legends packaging from Takara, which is really cool. Can't wait to see the packaging for Primal Prime. Not Primal Prime. Oh, what the hell am I saying that for? The open mouth Optimus Primal. And fighting for your life, Andrew. Wow, the Rat Trap box is huge for a Takara Deluxe. Yeah, that is true, actually. Looking at their old school Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo and all their boxes from that, yeah, it is pretty large. Dalton, you state that love the loud convoy, but have also loved to get Roddy Mutt. But the Collector Club was teasing us. I got no more comments. You there, Josh? What the hell? He was there.
Hmm.
All right. What's up?
All right. I don't know who. I know it was my internet that crapped out like in the middle of that for like no reason. Uh, but were you always in there, or was I in there? I don't know.
I was in there, and then all of a sudden you froze, and then I didn't see you anymore. And then all I just saw was the comments popping up, and I was reading some of them, and then all of a sudden I ducked out because I got your tweet. I'm like, okay, here's another one, another link. So I went to that, and then you tweeted back saying I'm back in. So I went back, and then
All right. So lost a few people through that technical issue there. Um, so I was asking people in the comments if you know can they see me and hear me? That way I know that I can continue on with this, and I just need to get you back in that the internet was right, or if it was they're all I'm completely gone, and then they were just looking at you. That way I know that if I need to go to you. But anyways, I'm gonna edit this at the end just because I think that would be annoying watching it in video form.
okay.
All right, so let's get back to sharing. And we're on this.
No.
The 2015 Collector Club figure Nova Prime, obviously repaint of Orion Pax, which Mike Hastings, for some reason, like values at like $36. But new head. What do you think about this?
I actually like it. I know some people think that it's okay or it's kind of could have been better, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm not sure what other. I mean, I think what Dakota stated he wanted the Cybertron Optimus Prime, which I think is way too big, but this here I think works for what it's worth. I like it.
It looks
Um,
like it does.
yeah,
I mean, the whole look of it does. Now, I know that a couple of people on Twitter, God, you guys were just blowing up my timeline about this figure. Um, Dakota said something about his companion piece,
yeah.
like
Well, the
like
companion
he's
piece, like
dating someone, or I don't understand what he was talking about.
I think he's talking about how like this year the club freebie was Rampage, and
Oh, the
then the
little
collector's
pack.
exclusive was Transmutate. So they made the box so you could actually combine the two and display them in the box. So I think he wants someone that's just like they're not sharing the same mold and such. And Lao Convoy with Nova Prime, they really don't fit in a way.
You get two figures that are the exact same mold. I could see a little fuss, over that,
Yeah,
but
but
I think this is fine looking.
yeah, and you got to remember, third-party companies are going to probably do something to make it look that much better.
Oh yeah, we do have an add-on for it. We'll get into during the add-on section at the end.
So
So, all right, a little bit of info here. A lot of people, they wanted this MP10 Masterpiece Optimus Prime. Now they're coming out with, I guess, kind of like a second release of the Hasbro, or kind of a reissue, if you will. And this is at Big Bad Toy Store for $159, and you get everything.
yeah,
So if you didn't want to get the Year of the Horse because you don't like the gold, and you wanted this original, but you didn't want to have to pay $300 or whatever it's going for on eBay, $159 ain't too bad.
yeah. No,
I think it's worth it.
oh yeah, it is an Asian exclusive, but yeah, like what you said, BBTS is going to have it, TF Source is going to have it. I'm sure Captured Prey, a whole bunch of people are going to have it. I mean, and to get it at that price, yeah, it's totally worth that price too.
Yeah, because whenever I bought mine, it was $100. and then they went up to 125. So kind of like the end price of these guys was 125. You're only paying like $30 more for it. I think that's totally worth it.
Oh yeah.
It's better than any price you're going to find on eBay. So if you want this guy, now is the time to get him. Don't say, well, I'm going to see if I get lucky and maybe they do it a third time. Maybe it'll end up being like Grimlock, you know. Jump on this now. $30 isn't that much of a markup from the original price. So.
And the more they reissue this thing, the more that it's going to be, the mold's going to get degradation.
Oh yeah.
You know, all that type of stuff. On top of that, this actually is debuting cheaper than the original MP10 also.
Oh yeah, the Takara one, yeah.
Yeah, so I would definitely jump on this if I didn't have it.
I might have to get another one, just because of an add-on. We'll look at... Dude, I'm so excited about the add-ons. I wanted to cover those first, to be quite honest, but I figured, you know, we've always done it one way, so let's continue to do it that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I have 2 of those because of that add-on.
All right, and today they started doing the sale of the Bathing Ape, and I'm trying to find out where do I buy this thing at. So it doesn't look like you're getting the trailer though. It's just the figure here.
Mm-hmm.
So a little disappointed about that, but it's gonna make it a little bit more affordable. Plus, I don't know where I'm would put all these trailers, because I plan on getting the Eva or Ava or whatever you want to call it, and I don't know where I'm going to put that trailer either. I mean, they're just kind of in the way.
Yeah.
But I want this. I love this mold, and it's a nice little throwback.
I would definitely get it. Now, so, like, BBTS, are they going to have it, or TF Source, Capture Prey, are they have any?
I haven't seen them put it up for pre-order.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if they're waiting to secure stock, because they just started selling today in Japan, or the 9th of August. So I don't know what time it is over there at this moment. It might be the Saturday over there, but I wonder if they're waiting to see how much stock they can get, and if it's a situation like that to where it's very limited, then this thing's going to be extremely expensive. So
yeah,
we'll just kind of have to see there. But in more Masterpiece news, our first colored prototype Star Saber.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, like hand painted and stuff like that. So, like the yellow might not be as bright, or, so it's might change a little bit in color, but you get the general idea, and it looks quite impressive.
Oh yeah. Definitely. At first, when I look at it, it just looks like a, I don't know, I want to say kind of like a articulated Action Master, just because it's really well detailed to the point you don't see the transformations anywhere there. Like the locking of the legs together to form the V-Star.
Yeah.
It looks very nice, streamlined. Can't wait.
And there he is, all mounted up with the V-Star. And little something we're going to take a look at here in a second, which is pretty cool, if it zooms in.
Look how big he is. Damn. And just imagine Victory Leo coming out and Victory Saber, how big Victory Saber is going to be.
I mean, because there's MP10 right there.
Yeah.
And the guy that, Star Saber that fits into the V-Star whenever he's in his robot mode, he's the size of these, like your Sideswipe or your Lambors and stuff like that. He's these guys' size, so it's pretty crazy. I guess it didn't show in the picture, but little Easter egg. I think it gets closer in on another photo, but we see maybe his little brain master. You see him piloting this, and he's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that He probably doesn't have the Brainmaster gimmick, but just to get the the Brainmaster, I think is really cool.
Yeah, we can get a little Yuki in there. That would be great, as long as it's not Jan.
Yeah, I don't want Jan.
But yeah, that's cool.
All right, and from Loyal Subjects, you're going to get a Swoop and Blitzwing. Look at this cute little fella.
Nice.
I like that. That's really cool.
At least he's got the nice head on there and sitting doing the old like weird schizophrenic having to have the 3 faces and all that.
Oh yeah, just keep it G1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and also from the TF Expo in Japan, got some really nice pictures. So I thought I'd share those with you guys. Tons of G1 stuff. There's also some Diaclone and some prototypes of never released stuff or prototypes of stuff that did get released. So we'll take a look at that in a bit.
Now, why wasn't this at BotCon? 30th anniversary, 20th anniversary BotCon. This would have been a nice display.
I mean, they really displayed it good because look at the triple changers. I mean, you got 3 of them in all 3 of his modes.
Even Computron there.
Yeah, you got 3 of them. So I mean, I absolutely love this. I mean, this is a great display here. And they even go back to Victory too.
Wow. I'd almost be tempted to create a felony there. See how hard that glass really is, and or whatever, if it is behind glass.
It looks like it is. Okay, this section right here, just that right there is. What do you think? $3 grand? Yeah, $3 grand at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you see these 2 boxes back. Here's the thing.
No,
they have 2.
That's about $5 grand. That's about $5 to $6 grand.
$5 grand. Okay, so you have 2 in box here, and then you had 2 extras. You're just greedy now, okay? Yeah. Because these are the Victory Pretenders or Mega Pretenders. Black Shadow and Blue Bacchus. Yeah. And then for a lot of people, like here in America, or maybe the same way in the UK, we got Monstructor. And we had like these weird kind of looking beast and stuff like that. But if you watch the original Victory cartoon, they were actually like dinosaurs with like robotic armor or something like that. And their guys were different colored painted. And they created Dino King. Mm-hmm. So this is the actual Dino King, which all these guys are nearly impossible to find on eBay.
Yeah. They're white. One has gold plastic. They're paint. I mean, here in the States, we got Monstructor. Instead of Black Shadow, we got
even the Monstructor is really expensive. Like like for that to get it complete, you're still looking at $300 plus.
Yeah, and the rubber that they used for the Pretender shells can wear and get spotty too over time. And like the Blue Bacchus, we got crosshairs instead. It's like I'd rather had Blue Bacchus instead of crosshairs, but oh well.
Not movie crosshairs, you youngins. So. All right, moving on. I mean, just wow.
Yeah, this really impressive. It's probably someone's collection that they donated and be like, what, man?
Yeah, for everyone to look at. I mean, like 3 Snapdragons, 3 8-face. I mean, just 2 everything. You get all the transformations. I mean, that's awesome. Your Target Masters, Headmasters, Decepticons. Then you also have the Headmaster Juniors.
2 of each.
God,
another offense.
Two Minervas. I mean, you know what? I'm kind of mad at this person because now you're just really showing off when you got like 2 of all these things that are like just super hard to get.
2 Brownings. Well,
Oh, does it? Golly, yeah.
not sure if he has 2 of the Metal Hawks, at least the robots.
And then here you have the, Grand Max Pretender here. So
yeah, 2 Six Knights.
Yeah. God.
Oh man, if I saw 2 Black Zergs there, I'll be pissed. 3 of them actually.
Okay, let's go back real quick. This display is not up to my standards because I expected to see 7 Six Knights. Or 6, I'm sorry. I want all transformations. What a horrible display.
I know.
Oh, yeah, okay, so, I mean, they didn't have 3 Black Zerax, so thank you. Do have 2 of the Overlords, but man, that's awesome. And you got
3 though of Hydra and Buster though.
Yeah, that's awesome.
3 Double Clouders. Oy. Wow.
And here we get into some of the prototypes, or Takara, they did not go through with it. So Unicron here, there's some, looks like some Beast Wars stuff that I don't know what it is. Not sure who this was supposed to be. Some people have speculated maybe Glyph. Then you have from the Helm mold. Some people said Swindle, some people said someone else, I forget. But you can kind of see a few of those.
Not bad.
And from Victory. Oh, they do have 2. Oh, don't have 3?
Yeah.
We don't get the alt mode.
What's up with that?
Oh,
3 Star Sabers, 3 Victory Leos, 2 Desarses.
Yeah. And same theme going on here.
Wow.
I mean, it's obvious they didn't do them in base mode for these guys just because, I mean, they're just so large. And then you have Season 3 stuff. So it's a nice way to kind of checklist whether you have it or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just think, though, if they had another Black Zerg and that guy had to transform it into base mode or Scorpion. Oh, my goodness. I would like them to do it on camera with a whole bunch of people around him just as he's trying to turn it, click this into place, and whoops, snap this off.
Oh, and here's some prototypes. There's a Fat Unicron there. Rodimus, it looks like, I guess maybe at one point he was going to come with this, but this is what the design they ended up going with.
Huh.
I'm assuming that's Wheelie. And look at Six Shot. Like, that is just bare bones Six Shot right there. Doesn't even have a face. It's a block. And I want it. Yeah. I'd really like to get my hands on that.
That Magmatron's head back there, that's interesting.
I wonder, is this a fuzzy ape? Maybe?
Oh, well, yeah.
So, a lot of little cool stuff in there. Alright, we already looked at that. I think got a few other photos. Some of the close-ups. I guess we'll take a look at here in a bit. But here you have the colored images of the PlayStation Optimus Prime. It's not too bad looking.
No.
If you like novelty items. And you don't have to connect the little controllers to his arm, but they kind of, as you can see, they serve as the guns. The buttons on the top, they flip around.
That's cool. The AV ports on the back. That's cool.
And I mean, it's a clean looking transformation. I mean,
yeah,
it's a really small looking PlayStation there. So not too bad. And then you also have the Mega Drive Megatron, which I don't think looks as good, but I mean, if you buy one, you're probably more than likely going to buy both of them, so they go together.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Well,
look at
Megatron
them.
was their first one, and I
Yeah.
think they're actually they're doing a better job. I'm curious to see if they keep going with like Starscream and what type of console that might be, or
You could do Ravage as a Game Gear, uh, and then I was trying to think who could be uh, the Game Boy. Well, they did come out with those Game Boy Colors, so maybe you could do like Steeljaw or something like that.
yeah.
Uh, the Unicron head we've looked at a few times, but this is kind of like the final, and you can see all the paint detail and the shading detail and kind of the black wash, and just that looks pretty awesome looking.
Yeah, it does. Still, I would probably want to mount that on my hood of my car. I think that would look badass. Drive it down the street with the hood of, with Unicron's head on my hood. Yeah.
Get a chain, wear it around your neck.
There you go.
And then
Wow.
even the detail on the bottom, stuff that you're not going to display it leaning over. I mean, even that looks great.
That's cool.
And then you also have the different eyes to where you can have it, from original movie or towards the end of the movie, which whenever people hot rodding them, they shoot out of his eye. So let me get rid of some of this stuff here. All right, so more TF Expo, and I'll just kind of scan through it and see. I like the way that they present their art,
Yeah.
where it's kind of like a gallery. It's a lot different than BotCon, but I like this more.
Yeah, that was really nice. Wouldn't mind going to that one. That would be cool.
Oh, here you go. So there you can see Brainmaster sitting in the little cockpit there, and it looks like it opens here. It looks like this is one piece stays there, and then maybe the back piece opens up. So
Yeah. Is he a stuck fixture though?
do not know that.
That's
Haven't got
my
any
only.
confirmation.
That would be something I want to know.
And even look at the Ultra Magnus here, and we knew that he was going to be much larger. Star Saber's still taller.
Yeah.
And then the Ultra Magnus is closer to the camera than him. So I mean, it's not even a contest. This is going to be a huge masterpiece figure. There's a little. We'll look at everybody. Those we looked at a while ago. There's some close-ups of some of them. And you can see that six shot really good here. He's got that weird, just a box for a face and then a nose for some reason. And that's a strange-looking Willy. I mean, looks like he's as tall as Rodimus there.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, this was all.
Ooh, Diaclone.
Oh yeah, so they had some Beast War, whatever stuff, or whatever you want to call it. Diaclone stuff. I think this is I forget which one. There's like four or five different versions of the Diaclone Megatron. So this is one of them. Then you have Browning up here. Then you have Magnum, which is great looking gun robo, but didn't get a Transformer release. And all these guys, some really awesome stuff in here.
Mm-hmm. That's probably another display I would probably try and break into.
God. I mean, going to a Japanese prison for a few years it might just be worth it. So. And I believe we looked at all these. Some close-ups. Oh, there's a good picture of Slug Slinger. That face sculpt, man. That's what I was talking about. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it for that. Yep. All right, getting into the third-party stuff. DX9, part of Unique Toys, doing a repaint of Salmore, I believe is what that guy was called. Is basically their cycle. Now they're doing their Wreck-Gar, which is Splinter. This looks really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of knew we were getting a repaint of it, but I think that this fits more with Wreck-Gar just because with these spikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do, and you can make other Junkions too, if they really wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, like the Sharkticons, it's kind of the ultimate army builder for G1, And that's a pretty nice looking face sculpt as well. And yeah, there he is with the Hasbro one. So, are we good on comments? I didn't know if you had to reset that from from our little
let's see here.
Technical issue thing.
Well, we got quite a few if you want me to go through them.
Yeah, go ahead and go through them.
Okay, let's see. Let me go all the way back here to... Chris says, I think that Nova Prime looks really cool. BVZXA3, that Nova Prime makes me mad. I was much happier when I knew he was Lyle Convoy. And by the way, they both have the same head sculpt. Trends 5, I think that Beast Hunter's Optimus would have made a good Nova. BVZXA3, however, will we see a third-party trailer add-on? And he just prefers the Lyle Convoy repaint. Let's see. Fighting for Your Life, Andrew. Where would the trailer go on that Orion Pax mold? The arms take up the entire bed of the truck. Dalton says, Asia exclusive MP Hasbro style Optimus for $160. Sign me up. Which is a good deal for that MP10. BVZXA3 states, well, sounds like there is a trailer in the works. We will just have to see later on in the podcast.
Yeah. Real quick, this is the TFC Toys. Forget his name, but it's basically their Tantrum.
Yeah.
Atheon.
Atheon?
Okay.
Atheon, something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of comments on how Star Saber looks really sweet. From Dalton, BVZXA3, Charles, stuff. So, yeah, that's about it.
All right, so Fans Toys. They're finally showing us the prototype images of Sever, which is basically their Snarl, and I like it. I really love the way that they do the inner workings of their legs. I dig that a lot. I love that face sculpt, and I'm satisfied. I like the way things are going. There he is to MP10. You can see a lot going on there with the legs. I also like the fact that Fans Toys, they don't really overly complicate the transformation either.
Yeah.
And here he is in his Dino mode.
And there wasn't that many QC issues with Scoria, right?
No, and they're also as far as Scoria, like I was missing a faceplate. They're going to be, sending that stuff to retailers. I think next week, and then the retailers will obviously send it, to us.
Mhm.
But that, and as far as all, any of the QC issues with Scoria, there's little tutorials online to show you how to fix that, or like maybe you'll have to take 3 screws out, put nail polish on this, or there's one screw that you need to tighten, and then you can put that panel on and put those 3 screws back in, and then that's fine.
No,
So
quick
if you're
fixes.
if you're willing to sit down, you're like, hey, I got like 3 things that need to be tightened up, you maybe spend 30 minutes, but then they're done and you're good to go. It's something, it's one of those things where we shouldn't have to do it, but it's nothing major,
Yeah. I'd rather
And
deal with that than something that actually breaks and you have to actually wait for a piece or something. Or
yeah,
replace it.
yeah, exactly. Right, TFC Protect-A-Bot hotspot. Uh, just some closer images here. We'll see some in hand in a bit.
Hmm.
Here he is to a Voyager. It's a decent sized Voyager too.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be bigger. But
Masterpiece Pro.
not bad. Got kind of a little head, though.
What the heck? Yeah, that tab's supposed to be there. All right, so here he is, in hand, the display case. This is the way that he's supposed to come together to become the torso.
That looks nice.
That's a pretty sweet looking head. I like that.
Yeah. I like the homage to the G1. I mean, the chest piece, even that red kind of ab piece there.
Yeah. Okay, and that other photo, they didn't have the chest. They had it like way down here. But okay, in hotspot mode, you're supposed to pull it up. So there you go. And this is first response, I believe, is what his name is. It's so basically first aid. There's a back of him. It's got a pretty big backpack, but
Huh.
I mean, you're gonna put it in combined mode anyway. So, and there he is next to Gumball, and I can't remember. So,
Did me or did when they came out with Gumball, they had a set size, and all of a sudden they all got bigger. They seemed like if you compare them.
yeah, this guy he does look bigger than the rest, but I don't know if it's the way they're posed or what.
Yeah.
Well, this guy looks bigger than Gumball, and he's got his knees bent, and Gumballs are fully extended. So yeah, he's going to be quite a bit bigger.
In first aid, there is actually an arm,
Hmm.
and Gumball is a leg. Interesting.
And from what's it, Bad Cube, something like that. Here's going to be Brawny. It's basically your masterpiece. And they also have Outback, which I forget the name they're calling him. Is it Backdash or something? I don't know. It's not important at this time. But here he is, masterpiece scale. And I think it's cool that he's all kind of like, beefy looking, because that's the way he's supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm hoping those aren't the final colors.
Here's your Outback. And Outback, he's fine. You get some actually pretty cool accessories with these that I was actually surprised of. And I mean, I don't know how final that is, but that's what you got so far. But yeah, you're gonna have the drill there,
That's cool.
like you used in an episode. And as you can see, he pairs up in scale with your Cubex Huffer. I forget what his fake name is. And the little back section there, you can see that his gun and stuff fits in there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. And it looks like you're going to have some interchangeable faces and a couple of little other things here. All right, and also new news. Here you have TFC Hercules, and they are showing off prototype of baby Hercules. Isn't it adorable? But scaled down version there. I don't know why they did it, but
yeah,
still, it's going to have all your transformation in detail as the original.
Interesting.
It's like they watched the Cybercast and they're like, we know Josh doesn't buy TFC stuff, but we know that he likes this little father and son type thing for the Transformers.
Sold. I'm gonna get Hercules now. I'm gonna pay like $500 for that thing, and then whenever this comes out,
They're like, we're gonna get him.
Huh.
So I think
That's interesting.
that's pretty cool.
It's cool, but it's just
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, are we gonna get the same with Uranus, Prometheus, all these other ones, Ares?
Well, also
Cool.
for those people that want combiners, I mean, he's going to be like a Voyager size. So, you know what? I guess if he's combined, he's going to be a Voyager size. I guess that puts him in your Legends class. So, all the little figures, the Constructicons by themselves, they're kind of like Legend size. And if you're a Legends collector,
Yeah.
then when he combines into Devastator, then, I mean, he's right there in size scale where he's supposed to be. So I guess that's what they were kind of going for.
Let's see how many other third parties are gonna follow suit now.
Well, what are you talking about? They don't copy each other.
They don't copy each other.
X2 Toys firing pin. That looks pretty nice. I gotta say that does look pretty nice. So
Yeah, it does.
we know Dakota's getting it. So and there he is in scale with those guys. Looks like he's a little bit taller there. And Toy World's Dinobots. So now you can see Sludge transformed. If you hadn't seen all the photos, then they're doing it, combiner style. And there you have their first two figures. Snarl and Sludge. And it's showing you a robot and size comparison.
I do like that, how they actually added one extra feature where they combine. That's pretty cool.
And nobody else has done it.
Yeah. Hopefully they can pull it off.
I was going to say, until... Boom! New third-party company.
Oh my gosh.
Shura King. They're coming out with the Dinobots too.
All right, that's it. I'm starting my own third party. I'm going to come out with some Dinobots. Seems
And
like
they're
the
doing
thing.
combiner as well.
Oh man. Gosh.
I mean, this is what I was saying on Twitter. I was like, you know what? Instead of like naming all the companies that are doing Dinobots, it's a much shorter list to name the ones that aren't doing them. Because there's like two. There's like two of them that aren't doing it. There's even like new third-party companies coming out of nowhere, and we're doing them too now. So, thought I would share with you guys that. What do you guys watch and think? I saw this. I was just like, this is not real.
Oh my goodness, it's sick. I mean, I thought it was bad with Predaking, and then all of a sudden, the Dinobots. I mean, yeah, the movie came out, but really, oh man,
All right, and now you have the Fastlane Cloud Raker, and I believe this is the one. These are the ones that we said they had the ugly ball joint here, correct?
I think so.
It looks like they've somewhat fixed that. So they went away from the ball joint and they went with more of a, what is that called, a hinge?
Yeah.
I'm not a joint expert. But, yeah. I mean, it looks better than what it did.
It does, but I still think that it's kind of odd. Like it just fall over
Yeah.
from that hinge if it gets worn out.
There's your Fastlane and Cloud Raker. There's a better look at the joint there. You kind of see what they did. No ankle tilt? Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
It looks a bit hollow, too. I mean, I'm going to pass, but I can see how some people would be, like, totally down for these. And I'm a fan of the clones, but there's a lot of hollowness here. You know, your basic, you know, fist, they fit in the, you know,
Yeah.
forearm here. But, you know, with no ankle tilt, I mean, you're a third-party company. I mean, it's pretty much given you're going to have to give me ankle tilt.
It's becoming a standard that there should be so many points of articulation, and it should be like used as a checkoff list. And if you don't match that criteria, I don't think you should actually put out the figure.
Yeah,
Maybe go back and try and do it
hip
again.
joints, thigh cut, knee bend, and ankle tilt.
Yeah.
You know, you don't necessarily have to have waist articulation because I don't even see myself whenever I post stuff using it that much.
Mm-hmm.
If I do, but head on the ball joint, you know, shoulder joint, you know, bicep cut, bend at the elbow, and wrist articulation would be nice. I don't have to have articulated fingers, but I'm also just not a big fan of the alt modes.
Yeah, it's kind of busy,
Yeah.
not really streamlined there.
A lot going on.
And again, with that, they could have put a panel inside of his forearm that kind of collapses when you have to put the hand in there, and then you can pop it up and kind of fill in that gap that locks into place. That would have been nice.
Yeah, like an MP10. You know, you just open that up, fold this out, and put that back in there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much stuff like that would cost extra, but it's kind of one of those things to where that would make a lot of people either buy the figure that weren't going to buy it originally.
Yeah.
All right, so Fans Toys is kind of put up there. Which one do you kind of prefer? This one being more G1 accurate, and then this is obviously the red one, but they're, you know, with the red, they're still doing the blue, with the red with the gold for the feet and the missiles. And for G1, if you're going you know, for G1 toy, this one.
Yeah.
I think the left one. But when we're talking for my cartoon accurate, basically Diaclone, where it's the blue chest, oh, it better be this one.
Oh, yeah.
With the gold feet and the gold missiles and a gold sword, because that's the way the Diaclone came. They didn't come with the you know, the red stuff that the Hasbro did, and, you know, Takara. So I want the gold chrome where it's supposed to be, and you make it completely, you know, Diaclone accurate. Because if they come out with the blue chest one and it's got red missiles and red feet, then you know what? I'm just going to go with the toy accurate one then at that point.
I don't even know why. I mean, it's nice that they did this, but why even show that? I think they should just stick with the original G1 toy look, keep the Diaclone, and, you know, not have that other one.
Yeah, so this is basically what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly what we're, you know, what we want. G1 toy, cartoon accurate, or basically what was the Diaclone. So.
Yeah.
All right, getting into the add-on kits. This guy is going to be released in, I think, is it next month? I think it's next month. I believe it's
Yeah,
September.
September, October, yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
So, and I really dig this, that I don't have to go track down the TFO1 add-on. I can just have my masterpiece, and I can just buy the this God Bomber or the TFO2 add-on and put them on my masterpiece. I don't have to deal with getting the classics version. I don't have to deal with getting a different add-on. That'd be cool if they did it as a 2-pack add-on. That'd be one expensive 2-pack, but people would buy it. People have been asking for it. But I like the fact that I can just take an MP10, buy this guy. I mean, they even look cool. You know, he looks pretty cool displayed on his own. But we saw this in hand at the Robot Kingdom booth at BotCon, and it's big, and it's awesome. Like right here, if you can see where the hand is, where the mouse, this is the bottom of MP10's foot. So look how big MP10 is, and this is the bottom of his foot. You got all this extra space, so it's almost like another leg. All that space in there. I mean, all these armor bits. The guy is huge and wide and massive, and it just looks awesome.
And he's that much bigger if you have the original Trailer Force set. I mean, so, yeah, he's a massive, massive figure.
Yeah, so you can get the God Armor here. You can just go straight to MP10 combine mode, or you can go with the Master Armor and your Classics figure, and then he's just even bigger.
Yeah.
And there he is. So
that's the route I'm going, since I have it. So.
And he does transform, or more than likely, kind of parts form. Well, you know, we just have a silhouette there, so hopefully something we get that picture maybe next week. And this is why I'm going to buy a Bayformer. You know, like it shows here, I want that, you know, the mask face. But this is the DX9 armor set, and I believe this is supposed to be out next month as well. All the accessories can be installed to the cab here, which makes that cab look nicer. You can see that part of this is the little shoes. I'm just going to call them shoes, but Toy doesn't have that little Bayformer looking feet where they're like claws or something. They just look like robot, you know, feet here. Looks like there's a waist piece, there's a chest piece, you have the side pieces here for the guns, and you know, the wings as well. I asked them, I haven't got back, they haven't got back to me yet, but I was asking them if it comes with a head, because I would think that, you know, that would be smart to it come with a head. That way all these people that bought already, you know, this figure from Hasbro, then, you know, they can buy this and it can look exactly like this. So they haven't got back to me yet. But what do you think about that?
I actually like it. I mean, I'm getting the other one, but this is a nice, really scaled down that can fit into the chug line really well.
Oh, yeah.
And this is really sweet.
I believe it's like $50 or something like that. Whenever you consider add-ons, and I know that, you know, it's just like the little parts here, and I mean it's not like a trailer or anything, but $50 I don't think is bad.
No.
For everything you're getting, I mean, you're making me buy my first Bayformer toy. I had no plans to, but I think this thing looks great. And another add-on, some of you guys were kind of mentioning it in the comments, for X2 Toys, they're doing their XT7 here, or 007, whichever you want to call it. It's their little trailer that goes with the Orion Pax figure. And you can kind of see the little CGI, you know, render here, that you'll have the trailer, and then you'll also have it where it parts forms, it makes kind of like a Genrai or something like that, or a Super Genrai, which were the two previous add-ons. So this kind of makes me want to buy the Orion packs now, especially if you're gonna you have to give me a new head, because I don't want that Orion pack set whenever we go to Super Genrai mode. But for Nova Prime, maybe they just change these wings up. Just change the wings up, look at the body, and then put the little whatever. Mosquito wings or whatever you want to call them.
Mosquito wings.
Oh, yeah. He's got like 4, 5, or 6 of them, whatever.
Yeah.
You think that will look cool? Is that going to make fans? I think if they come out with that repaint and make it have the Nova wings, then that's going to make a lot of people to where they passed up on it, they didn't like it, and then when that comes out, they're going to be like, oh, that just like totally makes the figure so much better. Just like I was with the DX9 for, Invasion Optimus Prime. It's kind of cool, no interest. Comes with the add-on, want it.
Yeah.
Trying to find that thing. I'm trying to find any information possible, on a face-plated one. I think that's what this will be for that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think doing something with that Nova Prime, I mean, it's great to finally get an official Nova Prime, and then if we can get a really good add-on kit for it, yeah, it's going to sell really well.
All right, 2 things left here. Just some updated pictures of the. Oh God, I know it's GI Eddie and Echo TF. Just some updated pictures here of their little add-on set. Well, looks like they're all going to be. So he can be even more gunned up. So I mean, all these little things. That's cool because those little in their car mode and G1, the little backpack guns, they really had nowhere to go when they weren't in their car modes. So the fact that you can attach them here and make Motormaster look like it's overcompensating for something, then there you go.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of weaponry there. Start calling him a Combaticon.
And Warbitron, their little add-on thing here for a weapon, I believe. Yeah, it's for gun. Little nice and stuff here. So. We looked at this a while back, but there's kind of some new updated pictures of it. Oh yeah, and I forgot they were giving you a little shockwave. Looks better than the Fans Project one.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, Jaim, you could tell me, and also you guys in the comments. I don't know how long it was, but should I edit the video and cut out that bit where we had technical issues for a bit? I don't know how long it lasted. Maybe like 4 minutes or something like that. If I do that, then it will basically like re-upload the video, and so all your comments, all the stuff, they won't be there. It will be like just uploading a new, fresh video if I do any editing. So you guys can let me know. So
I'd leave it.
Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah, and then I would just put in the description, from this point to this point we lost transmission, and it resumes at this marker or something, if you want.
Yeah, Jaim did something wrong, and it just it messed up.
I think it was Dakota's hack.
I
think he was trying to hack into the show.
It's Primal Selfish Hacks. I believe is where you go. All right, so we got a really cool topic. We're, like I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about some of the toy lines that we think should be revamped as far as kind of the thing that we wanted to set for it was cartoon and toy line. There's a lot of great toy lines out there that they wouldn't really make great cartoons, or they wouldn't survive in kind of today's market, or kids today wouldn't be that interested in it. So what could survive and be successful today, 2014, as far as toy and cartoon form? We've got quite a bit from the 80s. We're going to spend a little bit of time on some of these. We'll probably give a little bit of a history lesson on some for you guys that don't know, and just kind of like 5 from the 90s. But the first one I'm going to go with, and I kind of got these alphabetized, but I went with Battle Beast. Now, we already have the new toy form. Takara came out with what they called Beast Saga, but I don't know if that died or whatever. I wanted to bring it up just because they were so awesome as a kid, and it was, I don't know if it was really the first, but where you actually got a cool little action figure with weapons and you could play with, but you also, like now in the Beast Saga, they have like a dice game, but back then it was fire, wind, water. And you could play with your friends, and I mean, after you play with them for a while, you know exactly which one had what. But when you first got them up, who did I get? And you had the rub feature. I think that was really cool. And if they could do some kind of cartoon with that, I think that would help out the success. Well, they did do it in Japan, but I want to talk about here in America, where I can watch it without Karyudo. What? Karyudo fan subs. I want to see Beast Saga. And also Transformers Go. Those are your next projects.
So, there you go.
Yeah, we'll send you a list. But yeah, that's what I really want to see. But I think that it was worth bringing up just because it was cool. They obviously Takara tried to rehash it, but I mean, I'm buying them. I've got all the figures, but it just kind of stopped. It died. So I don't know if they're continuing or if they're just taking a break or what, but that's kind of what I had for that. Do you have anything, or did you want to cover one next?
I don't have anything else for Beast Saga, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have overlapping, lists here because you have the same ones that I do. So
yeah,
I'm going to throw out Inhumanoids. I really like that series. Great series, but it was really short. I think it was like 12 episodes.
Yeah,
12, 13. Yeah. And had a great theme behind it. Earth core, you got these Inhumanoids, Decompose, Metlar, and Tendril. And then you got these kind of like, I don't know what they were called, but like Red Sun, Redland, the tree, the redwood guys, and granites and all that type of stuff, and then you got Magnacore. But the toys themselves really weren't that great. At least, like, I know the Earth Core toys had no articulation. They had some light piping gimmick, which was like a first. But the Inhumanoids figures were really nice. But I think if a company could go in there and give us a cartoon again and reinvent it, and then have more of like you kind of can go that G.I. Joe feel. You could scale down these the Earth Core figures so they're more like maybe a 3 3/4 inch figure, and then so you can actually have the Inhumanoids still be that kind of larger figure, but not too large that they're really expensive. I think that would do really well. And I know that back in the day they had a comic book and they had some other stuff, but I think there needs be a little more support behind some of these, I guess.
I mean, everyone remembers the toys. It's one of those things that, like, I completely forgot about them because I didn't even watch the cartoon. But as soon as, like, you see, like, one of the toys, you're like, I think I got, like, one of those at a garage sale one time. Like, you remember, if you're a kid from the 80s, you're like, I think I had one of those, especially whenever you bring out the big guys.
Yeah.
with that weird skeleton crow-looking thing and that green, that other green
Decompose and
guy.
tendril, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone like remembers those because like your parents would not buy them for you,
Yeah.
because they were just like, that thing is huge. And it was cool because I always thought, I was like, man, I could play with this with these humanoid things or He-Man or even Star Wars, bring them out there. So
Yeah, they were cool, and the cartoon was great too because the animation was really done very well. It's just never took off. I guess another one-hit wonder for the '80s is what I'm calling them. But
yeah, there's a lot of 3 episode or 12 episode or 20 episode things from the '80s because they were just kind of like here you had G.I. Joe, Transformer, and Masters of the Universe. Ninja Turtles was later on, but here you had these three like just juggernauts, and people were like, we need to make the next one. And they're like, well, it's not as popular as this. And the thing is, whenever a kid, he got taken to KB Toys or Toys R Us or wherever, service merchandise. If you guys remember those, here you can get whatever the new whatever Hot Rod or Optimus Prime, whatever new Transformer, and for the same price, pretty much. Here's these things that you really don't have as much attachment to them, as you did with your Transformers or your Masters of the Universe, because you're already in season 2 or 3 or stuff like that, and then here comes not just Inhumanoids, but other things, and like, well, I don't have as much attachment to those, and the new Transformers did come out, and I'm always watching the cartoon. I'm going to go with Transformers, and that's where the Juggernauts were just so powerful back then that they kind of killed off, these other toy lines. They just never got that popularity, but a lot of them, they are, favorites.
Yeah.
Kids of the '80s. Some of the other things that I wanted to bring up as well is there's a lot of, I guess you can call them kind of third-party toys for these other action figure toy lines. But there's October Toys that they're doing the Skeleton Warriors, and they're kind of doing like Kickstarter projects and stuff like that. And they were at San Diego Comic-Con, and their stuff looks great. There's also Power Lords, to where I would jump on that, but I want them 6-inch, man. I don't want to deal with no 3 3/4-inch guys,
Yeah. Because the originals were 6 inches, or roughly around there.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, and maybe if they did them 6-inch, maybe we can get kind of the feature that we want, from like the originals. But I mean, they're great sculpts. I just want them in 6-inch. If they came in 6-inch, I would buy them. But I guess the next thing I wanted to kind of bring up is Captain Power. Now, I'm a Captain Power fan, and you can't see it, but there's a shelf up there that I got quite a bit of Captain Power stuff, a lot of box stuff as well. And I love the show. The show came on at like 5 a.m. in the morning on Saturday morning. So like my Friday night when I was a kid, man, I got in bed early so I could wake up, and watch that show. And then eventually, we got a VCR and we could record stuff. I know that it just seems so simple now. Oh, you want the show? Does it come on while you're there? Just DVR it. No, you had to buy the VCR, and then you had to buy the blank tapes.
Program it. Hopefully you have enough tape left.
Yeah, and then you try to set it with the timer, and then the timer never works because you can never figure out how to get it flashing 12 o'clock all the time.
Make sure it's on the right channel on the VCR.
Your mom starts yelling at your dad because it's still flashing 12 o'clock, can't get the thing to work, so your dad's like, I don't know how to work this thing, so he just takes some black electrical tape and puts it up there to cover it up, just so he doesn't get... Anyway, my childhood. Anyways, I really loved Captain Power, and it was a live-action thing, and they spent, get this, $1 million, I think it might have been more. But I know it was at least $1 million an episode You're talking, mid '80s money. I mean,
Yeah.
today that would be a lot more. Because I mean, like back then, you're talking about like gases. What was it, like 85 cents or something like that? Maybe less. I don't know.
I don't know.
But Captain Power, instead of doing the live action, maybe come out cartoon style. Because I really enjoyed those, because you would get the VHS tapes and you could play the game and interact with it, and it was kind of, this cartoon style. They kind of mixed in a little bit of live action with it, but just do it cartoon style. I think that it could take off. I think
Yeah.
it would be nice. I'd like to have it. And they're also talking about revamping it and doing it live action and calling it Phoenix Rising.
Hmm.
I mean, I've been hearing that for almost 2 years now, so I don't know how much more I believe of it, but I'm like holding on to that thread of possibility. I want it. I'm totally down. If it's Kickstarter, I'm backing it. But yeah, that's one that I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you wanna share another one.
Um, my next one would be Centurions. I'm a huge fan of Centurions. I love that show. I love the toys, and I love the fact that there's not just getting the toys and getting the exo frames, but you could mix and match, and you could do whatever you wanted with those figures. You didn't have to go along with like the show or what the exo frames actually were, which was great. And to get that again would be fantastic. Now, I don't want it in a 3 3/4 inch scale. It has to be at least a 6 inch scale because you have a lot of
Yeah.
exo frames and all that kind of stuff. And it would be great to finally get characters that we didn't have. And I'm talking those two that we saw the prototypes for in the catalogs, but we never got, which was the oh gosh, what was his name? Rex Charger and John Thunder. Those guys would be awesome. And then give us some of the other or newer exo frames and just revamp the whole story. I think it would work really well in this day and age with the whole technological, aspect of everything. Because a lot of that stuff that they did back in the day was like it's a futuristic kind of world. Well, now you can kind of do it even more futuristic or do, kind of a better take on it.
And there was so many pieces that you can. That's the thing about the '80s is they were like, here's a toy, and you have to bring your imagination, to play with it. To where now, I mean, they basically just play with the thing for you. I mean, or in video games. I mean, but you really had to work at stuff. Even video games back then, like they were hard. Like you had to work at it. Toys, you got to use your imagination. And when you talk about Centurions, here's all these pieces. Now, here's the directions, and if you want to make this certain way, you can do that. But you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't even have to ever look at the directions. You can just piece that sucker together however you want. I guarantee you can go to your parents' garage. If you're a kid of the '80s, you're gonna find at least one piece from the Centurions line, just because like they're all over the place. I remember like I kept all like a certain toy line either at my house or I keep like certain toy lines at my grandmother's house, and then my other grandma I'd keep certain toy lines at her house. That was one of the toy lines that I had a piece like all over the place. I never had them at one place just because there were so many and so many possibilities. It was just so fun. Again, you got to use your imagination and be more creative. And I think that's something that today's youth, I mean, I'm not saying that kids today are stupid or anything like that. Don't twist the words, but they need something to let them be more creative. Expand their mind a little bit more. Because right now all they're doing is playing video games. They're glued to the TV 24/7.
It has to be electronic to be engaging for them, I've noticed. But yeah, like what you're saying, Centurions, what I love so much about them is you make it the way you want it to be, but I like the fact that you can take off that armor and you have them in their normal mode, and then you can recreate what you saw on TV when they're like, send me down, orbital interceptor, and power extreme, and then you can put it all on there for you. You know, there's more, you know, stuff that you could do with it instead of having like, you know, your Batman figure. You can't change Batman into Bruce Wayne. He's always Batman. You know, unless you get like an actual made quick change, you know, and it's made into the toy. But this was just great. You could take off the helmet. You could do all this type of stuff, and it was just, man, it was a great toy line. But,
this was one I didn't have it on a list here, but it was actually mentioned in the comments by Plasticon. Jason the Wheeled Warriors. I think we both kind of had that on our list. I mean, there was a lot of like cool things that you could do with them as well. Again, you know, be creative.
Yeah.
The cartoon. A lot of people. Well, here's the thing: as far as the '80s, the theme songs, they're all great. You know, I was looking down here. I was like, what are some of the the best ones? I was like, oh, you know, we'll get into some of these, but Dinosaurs, Mask, Silverhawks, Thundercats, Visionaries. I mean, just great opening theme songs.
Yeah. Galaxy Rangers, it's great stuff.
But yeah, Jason the Wheel Warriors. That was one that I kind of put as a questionable. I don't know how I would do today. But I can definitely see the passion with us older collectors with that toy line. Also put on there, I don't know how successful this would be, but it was something that I dig. Dino Riders. If you remember those.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just kind of look at Toys R Us where they had the Jurassic Park figures, and it seems like they had them for like 2 weeks, and then they just went on clearance. Like nobody was buying them, and it's not like they had a new movie for them or anything like that. It's not like it had a cartoon. That's why it's kind of like you just can't come out with a toy line. You need to come out with a cartoon with it as well.
Something that's ongoing that keeps it fresh in your head, because they don't do commercials anymore either.
Yeah, it's a good example would be the new Nick Turtles. At first I was like, not really a big fan. I'll save my money. And then I got more involved with the cartoon, and seeing it more and more, and seeing some of these, like I love the cartoon. I think it's awesome. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to. I'll just get the Turtles. I'll just get the Turtles. That's it. I'm not buying any other ones. Now I've got them all. Jaim, he has like 40-foot soldiers, just foot soldiers.
Yeah.
So
it's sad.
It's addicting. But now I look at it, I'm like, I absolutely love these guys. And then it got me back into collecting my vintage stuff, and now I'm so all these turtle stuff. I'm buying. There's turtles, scattered behind me. So, everywhere. It really needs a cartoon, but I look at the dinosaur thing. Are kids even fascinated with dinosaur? Well, I mean, like, besides them coming out with a million different, Dinobots right now. But
they are.
Are they?
Because they actually, Fisher-Price makes their version of Dino Riders through their Imaginext. You can get these little, but they're like for little kids, and I got them for my son when he was like 2 to play with, but there's no theme behind it. There's no nothing. I mean, I would love to see a revamped, new take on Dino Riders as a cartoon, and then come out with these really cool, like you said, Jurassic Park, type of, toys. It'd be nice, but a lot of people don't want to take a chance. It's sad. They'll take a chance on something that, oh, look, we had a Jurassic Park movie. Let's throw out some toys. We had a toy line. Well, maybe it's still going.
We had
no
toys to a movie that came out like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Or longer, a little longer than that. Also put Dino Saucers on there. I thought the cartoon was cool. As far as the toys, I mean, you had a couple Brazilian toys. I think like Brazil or something like that came out with like 3 figures. I think. I mean, they're extremely expensive, but it's one of those odd rarity things. So I mean, if you're into collecting like odd rare things, dino saucers. I mean, they only came out in like one country. I think it was Brazil, but you can check them out.
Yeah, dinosaurs and tiger sharks.
Yeah.
Tiger sharks was released here, but they're really rare and extremely expensive.
Also, let's get into one that I know we both are just giddy about. Mask.
Yeah.
I mean,
Come
we
on,
could talk
Hasbro.
for 2 hours about that if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
But we'll probably get more into that on the Aftercast, which will be on Victory Saber 77 channel at 9 p.m. So here in a little more than an hour. But Mask, I mean, the cartoon I think would just it would be successful. It's done right.
Yeah.
As far as the toy though, do they need to continue with the smaller guys, or do they go up to the figures or 3 3/4 inch figures with vehicles? Now you're basically, I look at that and I look at how successful G.I. Joe is sitting on the shelf right now. Love G.I. Joe, but I mean the stuff is sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
It's been sitting there. The movie stuff it's sitting there. Even whenever I look at the 50th stuff, now it's been there for like 2 weeks. Like 2 things have been sold. Everything else, it's completely full still. And maybe it's the price point, especially if you're trying to get the kids involved as well. That's the great thing about Turtles is they keep that price down.
Yeah, they do.
That under $9 a figure, and the buy one get one half off, or buy one get one 40% off that they do every so often and stuff like that with them. So I mean they keep the price down, and the vehicles are pretty affordable and stuff like that. I think that if they went with the the G.I. Joe scale, then it's going to deter a lot of parents, because that's the cool thing is about it's not the figures, it's the vehicles that you really want, because that's kind of the highlight there. And if you're like, well, I want this vehicle, but this vehicle is $30-40, and now I only have one of them. I mean, you buy 3 vehicles, you're spending $100. But if you went that smaller scale, like we did back in the day, what was that? Was that
About a 2-inch?
a little bit taller. It was about 2-inch, maybe 3-inch.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't 3-inch. Maybe 2.5-inch or something like that. But anyways, if they did it at that smaller scale, they could bring down the price some, and I think that it would help the line be more successful.
I think, yeah, I agree to a certain point there, but I believe that revamping Mask and incorporating it as they kind of already did into G.I. Joe would be a huge bonus, and making it a Toys R Us exclusive, so throughout the year maybe you get only 4 or 5 vehicles, if that, and then having them at that 3 3/4 inch scale, and then you can actually put in your G.I. Joes into those vehicles, and having it as separate kind of faction of G.I. Joe would actually be kind of cool. I mean, Star Wars, I know Star Wars is always going to be popular, but those play sets and vehicles sell. They always will sell. And I think if there was a cartoon behind Mask, they could sell those at that size scale. But it all depends on if Hasbro's willing to back that up and do a cartoon, instead of just saying, oh, we're going to throw out Mask here, and we'll throw in like the G.I. Joe but Mask label on there, and you get Matt Tracker with a Thunder Hawk, and we'll see what happens.
Nothing transforms.
They need to have a cartoon behind it, and I think that's a good way of actually revamping G.I. Joe, because the last couple of cartoons weren't that great. I think they need to go to that different step. Yep. But I don't want like Snake Eyes and Duke becoming Mask agents and having that kind of crap. But I just think if it's in that realm, in a way, I think it might help. But definitely a cartoon. It's long overdue.
Oh yeah, even this isn't what we're talking about, but like we've said before, that if they just want to come out with a Mask collectors club, I'm buying a subscription. I'll be one of the first people to sign up. whatever they want to do. We're having this special exclusive. If there was a mask con, I'm going.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they had exclusives. I mean, that's how much we really like this, you know, mask. So,
you take two great things, G.I. Joe and Transformers, and throw them in together. I mean, who wouldn't like that as far as an '80s, you know, kid? I mean, it's perfect.
It basically was. It's basically like, hey, now I can put G.I. Joes in my Transformers. You know, or they didn't turn into robots or anything, but if you know you're younger, you don't know what we're talking about, then just look it up. You'll like it. I think that you can even watch some cartoon episodes on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
A couple that we'll just kind of go through quickly. The real Ghostbusters. If they kind of redid that, I think that would be cool. Just because it kind of gives you that kind of corny, goofy toy line, different colors and stuff like that. We kind of brought this up as well. You could even back that up with, you know, how they came out with Police Academy, they came out with Dick Tracy, you know, just various colors. They had, you know, like their little signature stuff, or Biker Mice from Mars. You know, they had their little signature stuff. They're kind of goofy and they're fun for kids to play with. They have a gimmick.
Yeah, gimmick-driven toys.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool. Sectars, though, that's one I want to see. That's like really, at this point, I mean, it's really adult collector friendly just because it's so dark. The cartoon, they had, I think it was 6 comics and was it 5 cartoon episodes? I forget exactly the number. I know it wasn't no more than 6. And
yeah, it's too creepy. That's why they got canceled.
The thing was it was so dark and so scary. Like even the good guys were scary looking, and the box art was scary looking, that parents wouldn't buy them for their children. My grandma actually bought me General Spydrax, the bad guy leader, and the Spider Flyer. I believe that's what it was. Yeah. But bought that for me, and they're hand puppets too. So here I am, I'm like 4 years old, and my grandmother puts this pair, the Spider Flyer with General Spydrax on there. It's black and purple, and he's got fangs and everything, these red eyes. It has electronics, so you can flap the wings, and then she put her hand in the puppet, and was like, I'm gonna get you. I was terrified of it. Like, I would lock it in the closet and just never go in that area of the house. Until I got older, and I was like, man, these things are really cool. Do they have them anymore? And, unfortunately, they're only on the shelves for like a month.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't realize that they even exist. But that's something that I think today's youth, like parents today, would be a lot more comfortable buying that for their kids, It wasn't as... Things were different in the 80s as they were different in the 70s and the 60s. I mean, we evolve as a race, and just like today, people don't have. There's still some people, but there's today there's whenever someone cusses on just cable television, a lot of people. There could be basically same-sex stuff, going on. Today, not as many people have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. Whatever.
We're not shocked as easily as we used to be. We're really attuned with what's going on around us.
Yeah, we're not as sheltered. Thanks, Internet. But that's one of the things that I think it would be a lot more successful. Again, if there was just a collector's line, or if someone wants to. Backpack, or what is it, kickstart that, I would be into that. But as far as cartoon, the cartoon was pretty good, and it had like a story that it wasn't one of those, well, in today's episode, this is the lesson we learned, and like a lot of the Masters of the Universe were, to where they were like, this is the bad guy this episode. He's terrifying these people. Adam, he needs to call, by the powers of Grayskull. He turns into He-Man. He defeats him, and then, at the end, this is the lesson.
This is
and
why
it
we
was
don't
just,
pick on people. And
it was, one of those things to where, Masters of the Universe, to where a lot of the times you could just play an episode. You can watch it. It doesn't matter if you're watching them in order. It was just, it could be filled just for that one episode. Toward this, it was actually a driven story, like you would see a regular live-action TV series. So I think, that was a pretty good story. The only thing that I hated about it in the cartoon is they said, I don't know, there was something weird, like they went da 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 or something like that, like was kind of their battle cry or something. It was crazy. Like they were like, "Let's go into battle," and they were like, "La la 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 la." It was kind of like the Cobra, la 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 la. I was like, okay, it's a little old, And they just everyone, la 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 la. That's what they were doing, and it got annoying. Do you want to take another one?
Yeah, I'll kill two birds with one stone.
Okay.
I was talking with you beforehand, and I have a daughter who I think would like this, and such. But like, bring back the Wuzzles. Those things were kind of cool. I mean, you had like Bumble Lion, who was a bumblebee and a lion, and they lived out on this island, and it's colorful and kid friendly. That's what we see a lot of, like on the Sprout Network and all that. And then like Rainbow Bright give the girls an action hero beside, let's say, Jaim or whatever else. But I think some of those I'm surprised hasn't recycled back in. We get My Little Pony and stuff like that. And I was thinking, what stuff that I was always like, when it turned on the channel, like, oh my goodness, why is this on? So I'd always change to the next channel. I was like, oh, I'm not watching like Rainbow Bright, so I'd change it, or the Wuzzles and stuff. But I do remember it, and I think that would be kind of a cool, retro, bring it back, reinvent it, maybe make Rainbow Bright a little bit older. I don't know. The Wuzzles would be cool, like Shirt Tails, but I think the Wuzzles would be kind of cool, but you couldn't make a really huge toy line. They'd be stuffed animals like they used to be, so it'd be just kind of reissuing what we had before, like Care Bears and stuff, but I don't know. But I just wanted to mention that because I think it was a cool concept back in the day. Snorks, Pawpaw Bears, Monchichis, all that type of stuff. The cute stuff.
I tried to watch Care Bears not too long ago, and it was all this new. It wasn't the Care Bears that I knew. I don't know. It wasn't as good as I thought. I didn't like the new one.
Yeah.
These two are gonna kind of go hand in hand. Silverhawks and Thundercats. Because they took the same format.
Yeah.
Silverhawks and Thundercats. Now I know we did get a revamped Thundercats cartoon and toy line, and it has been canceled. That cartoon was awesome. I mean, yes. I have never talked to anyone that has had anything negative to say about the cartoon. Everyone loved it. The toy line, on the other hand, it's really hard to find someone that says something positive about it.
Yeah, it's a hit and miss.
So I would not revamp it again, but continue on with the story. Cartoon, same animators and stuff like that. I would love that. But step it up on the toys. I think one of the big things was, where the ankle joint connects to the knee joint, or whatever, not where those two joint, but the shin plugs in there, and it was like cat color, or let's just say like natural color. Mm-hmm. And then it would plug into the foot that was blue. Well, you could still see the pegs on the outside of the foot that was, basically a shoe. But then you see the natural color showing through. So you just have these like circles through the boot.
Yeah, Bandai didn't do a great job. They did the same thing with the Power Rangers when they were doing the 3 3/4 inch line. But yeah, I totally agree with you.
And I hope that doesn't hurt the chance of, Silverhawks maybe coming out, because I don't want them to look at it and be like, well, this kind of the same format here. People love the cartoon, but what if they don't buy the toy? I mean, I think a lot of people would really want a Silverhawks return.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that. And if they could make it, I mean, make it the size right now, not your 6-inch, but it's what the Power Rangers Megaforce is right now. It's like that in between. It's like a 4-inch scale or 4.5-inch. I would totally like that and dig that. That would be such a sweet line. Silverhawks, I love the show. I hate the toys. The toys look good if you just put them on the shelf and you can get them mint, and they don't have any, scratches, scuffs, chrome peeling off. I mean, they were done so horribly back in the day, and they had this stupid little gimmick where they flipped up their arms so they could see their wings, but they had no articulation. And yeah, I would love to see a revamp on that series. Articulation, something. Maybe the battle mass, so you can actually have an alternate face, so you can have that, mass to come down. Oh.
They had some vehicles and stuff too. I know
the Mirage.
What is it I have here? Oh, the Batman, the Dark Knight collection. What's it called? Batjet. Was obviously Kenner. It was just a recolor from the Silverhawks. What was that thing called? I forget what Silverhawks one was called.
Was it Talon? Or,
is it you press the button in the back and then the wings like shoot out?
Yeah, it was Quicksilver's little vehicle, I think.
I mean, that's what it was made for. It totally does not go with this Batman collection. It's like so out of place. It doesn't make sense. But it's from the Keaton Batman stuff. So I bought it.
Yeah,
because that's what I do.
I mean, just think about that. Silverhawks had the Mirage, which was a fantastic vehicle. You think of Thundercats, the tank. Oh my goodness, to get those vehicles that look.
I remember having that too.
That sweet, that could actually fit all of the members of your team, not just one or two.
And remember the Lines Layer. I mean, it was just nice, big. It was awesome. Even Mumra's Tomb. I mean, it reminds me of the. So what am I thinking? Supernaturals.
Oh yeah.
They're. You know what? It might even be almost. It's very similar. It's basically like you got your coffin and then you have like these two statue things that kind of interact or whatever. But it was boring. But the Lines Layer for the vintage one, everyone like loves that thing. It's just a nice display piece. It looks cool.
Yep.
Then with the new Thundercats base, I don't even call that a Lines Layer. It was
the Tower of Omens. Yeah,
it
that was
looks horrible. Those things, they might even be on clearance now at my Toys R Us. I remember like that Thundercat stuff because I didn't even buy any of the toys. And like you can even go to like Marshalls and stuff like that if you have one close, and you can pick up Thundercat stuff like the tank or even the base for like $5, and I still didn't pick them up.
I unfortunately bought them except for the base.
The base that's probably one of the worst bases.
Yeah.
To come out. Now people will spend money for bases if you make it cool and awesome. Like look at the turtle base.
Yeah.
I think it's big. It's awesome. It's expensive. It's $100.
But it's like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Or something
I mean,
like
the kid's gonna be able to get that and play forever. So.
The only thing the Thundercats thing had was it came with a clear Tigra. That was the only incentive, so you could have him when he disappears, a version. And it was just stupid. But you could still see the black pegs in his arms and his joints, so it's like he's not really, he's still there because you can see all the crap that Bandai didn't want to change. So,
I mean, honestly, between that playset, I would rather just play with like a cardboard box or something.
Lincoln Logs.
Set some Lincoln Logs up. put some shoe boxes around it, and that's going to be my base. And because it's gonna you're gonna have more fun with it. You don't have to pay for it. Very very short cartoon. God, it just irritates me so much that was such a great cartoon for Thundercats, and the toy line was just so garbage.
Yeah.
But anyways, Starcom, I love the toy line. That's where you had the little 1.5-inch figures, or a little smaller than 2-inch. It's kind of Air Raiders is the same. Hasbro did the Air Raiders, and then you had Coleco that did Starcom. Well, here's the whole thing with a little history lesson for people that don't know Starcom, or maybe do. But NASA basically teamed up with Coleco, and they wanted to boost the interest for space exploration with our children, for us guys. Jaim and I were supposed to be astronauts, but unfortunately the line
Space camp.
Yeah, so they were supposed to make us all be a little bit more interested in space exploration, and that was kind of like NASA's backing with Coleco. So they came out with Starcom, which had the magnet features, the wind-up features. It was very cool. These toys are very detailed. I've done a review on a couple things. I think Shadow Invader, Parasite, Shadow Bat, and I think that's it. But I got quite a bit more, and I can get into that if you guys ever want me to. But basically, after a year, NASA said that, what, this doesn't seem to be very successful. Now, you're targeting the children here, so I don't know, after a year of a 6-year-old playing with your toys, you can realize that, what, we haven't had very many 6-year-olds try to sign up for NASA, so I don't think the toy line's doing. I don't think they're getting it. So I don't know how that whole works, or how they came with that, came up with that determination. But the toys, fantastic. It did get like the little bitty mini comics, but it also had a couple cartoon episodes, which I've tried to find before, but I seem to be having a little bit of trouble. But I think the toys would. It's one of those things where the toys could sell the cartoon. Mm-hmm. They were that great. But I don't remember the cartoon being that memorable. I didn't think it was that interesting whenever I did see it. Only seen a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, but they later on, whenever they were basically going to can it, Mattel took over. And when Mattel took over, they might have released some stuff in the U.S., but it mainly was released in UK, and Italy, and one other country, across the pond. So, basically those 3 countries, and it was released under the Mattel banner. I believe that one was 87, and that's whenever you look on the bottom, like some say Coleco and some say Mattel. So that way you can kind of get on which one was kind of the first release, because Mattel actually re-released some of these figures and put their Mattel, stamp on it instead of the Coleco.
Huh.
So all mine are Coleco originals. So, Visionaries. You want to talk about Visionaries?
Yeah, I mean, Visionaries.
We're almost done, guys.
The toys, I think, were good because they had that G.I. Joe flavor. There's a lot of articulation. You had holograms. You had armor that you could take off, at least their helmets, and they had vehicles that would fit these because they were bigger than a 3 3/4-inch figure. And the vehicles weren't bad. I liked them. It's just that the show got canned after 13 episodes. Again, another like one-hit wonder that for some reason they decided that the show wasn't doing well. They canceled it. But I believe it was during a time where Hasbro was canceling their relationship with Sunbow. And that's why like Transformers, Visionaries, G.I. Joe, all that stuff kind of got thrown away. And Visionaries, I think, was about to hit that prime, I think. And the toys were still going, but they got rid of it, and which is unfortunate because we never got. But it was a taboo for a boys' toy line to get female characters, but we were gonna get, what was her name, Minerva or Maria, or I don't know, the
I'm
gal
not
who could
sure
turn
the
into a
names.
dolphin and the gal that could turn into a shark. We were supposed to get those figures, but
And they were primary characters. Like they were, it'd basically be like if you started well, it wouldn't be very successful today, but if you started off season 3, bam, here's RC from the very beginning. You know, they were prominent characters. The females were, which was really cool. Like today, even back then, a lot of boys watched She-Ra. You know. But yeah, I think that's one that needs to, get redone again. It's hard to explain that to a kid. Well, Hasbro and Sumbo, they're done with each other, so now you don't get the rest of your cartoon or anything or toy line.
yeah,
Like, oh, thanks, legal people.
yeah. And I mean, I guess the nice thing that we had back in the day that a lot of people don't realize is that, hey, we didn't have internet. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all this stuff. So we had Saturday morning cartoons. We had cartoons before school and after school. Nowadays, the cartoons are more centered around, education, or they have more a mix of adult theme with kids stuff mixed in there. And back then, when there was no cartoon, we just thought, oh, it's just another repeat or whatnot. We had no idea that, it's canceled. We don't get to see it anymore. Now we can look at it and like, oh, it got canceled because of this, that, and this, and that, and this, and that. It's like, oh man, the kids nowadays have it made. Even if they even watch cartoons, a lot of kids don't even watch cartoons. So they got extracurricular activities, schooling,
The
competitiveness, all
DVR
that
and
stuff.
stuff like that is basically a lot of people do. I mean, that's the way I watch stuff. Is I just DVR it. One, because I just hate commercials.
Yeah.
That's why I watch NFL Red Zone, because I don't want to watch commercials. Just 7 hours of foot. I like what 7 hours of nonstop football. I'm like, yeah. And then you get to the Sunday night game, and I'm just like, oh, freaking commercials at halftime, and All right, so I had quite a few other things on here, but we've been going for quite a bit here. I wanted to leave with two things here. One, Bucky O'Hare. Again, riding the coattails of popularity of Ninja Turtles, but still very cool. They're in space, and they had they had different designs and stuff like that. So I mean, it was more my brother's thing. Because that was kind of like where I was getting older. He was 4 years younger than me, and that was kind of like directed at his age group to where I was into something else. I don't know what I was into, but I remember him getting the toys, and I'd be like, I really want to play with those. But I'm supposed to be like an older guy, and I'm supposed to be all cool and stuff, so I can't. But like whenever like I'd sneak into his room and like play with this Bucky O'Hare stuff. I thought it was cool. It was fun. It was something different. It was like your Ninja Turtles, but it was in space.
Mm-hmm.
And did they had a cartoon again, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know they had a comic, and I remember the opening theme, but I can't remember if that was just one awesome commercial or if that was well, they are all commercials. All the episodes are commercials, basically in the '80s, but. I remember the theme and stuff like that. It was really cool. It got you pumped. But I think Bucky O'Hare could be successful. Again, Ninja Turtles is successful right now. Ride the coattails. If you can only make it out for whatever a 20-episode season and release some toys, then your fans will be happy. I know they'll be happy, and you'll sell some toys.
Mm-hmm.
You will sell some toys because sometimes especially if you can price them maybe a little bit cheaper than the Ninja Turtles. Not a lot, just maybe a little bit, like $1.50 or something like that. Or maybe come with some 2-packs where you can come out with a little bit cheaper. There will be parents that maybe they can't really afford all the Ninja Turtles their kid wants. You got these Bucky O'Hare. And a lot of them, they kind of look like, Ninja Turtles. They're a rabbit, a duck, and a gorilla and stuff like that. It seems like stuff you'd see in Ninja Turtles. They might buy that. It's not a knockoff, but it's, and you can give a little kid, you can give it to him. I don't remember this character. Oh yeah, he's in an episode you didn't see or something, or he's in a future episode. Whatever, lie to your kid. But you can get that for them, and they would enjoy it. I know they would. And then be like, oh, this is this cartoon. They see it, and they'll get into it. So I think that would be a successful cartoon and toy.
Yeah.
You have anything to add on that? I had just one last thing. I thought we'd throw a Disney thing in there.
No, I'll throw in. I'll have one last thing. It's not Bucky O'Hare, but Disney. It's a great cartoon, and it did have a good toy line. But I think we could have it revamped and maybe go a little darker. But it's Gargoyles. Gargoyles was fantastic. It was a great cartoon, and I think it should be revamped or just at least recycled, kind of like Turtles. Turtles was great in the 80s. It was great when it was on Fox, and it's great now. I think Gargoyles could follow suit with that type of, reinvent it a little bit and go with it. And I think maybe give it a little bit of a darker theme, make the toys maybe a little bit darker, but I think that would be a nice revamp.
I think so too. Or, yeah, I mean, I would love a cartoon of that. I remember watching that. That was really good. Another one, the one I was going to name, there's obviously a lot of popular Disney stuff. There's Tailspin, I like that. Rescue Rangers, I like it. DuckTales. I mean, there's so many good Disney cartoons. But the one that kind of stands out the most, that I think even adult collectors like ourselves would even collect, or even collect the vintage ones, is Darkwing Duck. I mean, it was... you had DuckTales, where it was it was cool, it was funny, and the episodes were enjoyable. You had some some movies as well. I actually like the movie quite a bit. Then here you got Darkwing Duck, and now you're a fan, especially of all these superheroes and stuff, and you see how Marvel, DC, they're coming out with the Batman, Superman, the Guardians of the Galaxy, all this stuff, Avengers. Why not throw in that, Darkwing Duck, a little superhero? And the thing is he's a funny superhero.
Yeah.
There was comedy to it. The animation was good. The toys, for the most part, I mean, they're, the vehicles were really awesome. But you have some really cool characters in there, like Megavolt and Bushroot or something. I think it's Bushroot.
And you had characters that carried over from like DuckTales at times that made guest appearance or was his sidekick, like Launchpad and McQuack was his sidekick. Yeah. And it was pretty cool. And he was a single father too, which I thought was kind of a lot of kids don't realize that, but yeah, he was raising a daughter who
Goslin.
Would always get in his way, was a little firecracker, but it was funny and it added to the show, It was cool.
Yes, she wasn't she?
Oh yeah.
And then it was a great cartoon. I think that it would be successful. Like, even if they aired it the way that it was, I mean, this was more 90s, but even if they aired it the way it was back then, I think it would be successful if you put it on TV right now. I mean, the animation was good. You just kind of fix the toys up a little bit. I think it would be awesome. But there's a lot of stuff we could have named. I mean, we spent almost 2.5 hours on here. We did have the technical difficulties for about 5 minutes there, so I apologize about that. But there's some that you guys probably wanted us to talk about. There's tons. There's Black Star, Brave Star. There's Computer Warriors. The Power Lord, Sky Commanders. Cowboys of Moo Mesa. We were going to bring that up, but I don't think we did. But that kind of fits into that goofy line. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and exit out here because we're going to start the aftercast at 9 p.m. So a little more than 30 minutes. So make sure you go check out Victory Saber 77 YouTube channel, because that's where we're going to be. Jaim, you want to go ahead and tell people where they can find you? Shout out your stuff.
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Victory Saber 77, and just like what Josh said, we're going to be starting the Aftercast at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, so check that out on my channel.
All right, and you can find me, G1Hextron, on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And you can also like my Facebook page, The G1Hextron. We also have some community stuff. Our website is cybercastnetwork.com. If you want to be featured as far as the collection spotlight on the Cybercast like we did today, go ahead and go into the forums, become a member, and post up your pictures there. We also have our Facebook page, which is Cybercast Network, which everything you saw today except for one link was from our Facebook page. So if you're interested in seeing any of that stuff or commenting or see whenever we do post it, you can check it out there. Also, sometimes we post some exclusive stuff like Karyudo's fan subs. You know, we let people know and put the link up there for his Transformer Zone. So that's where you can go find all that if you want to go watch that and download that. Anything else? I think that pretty much sums everything up. Yeah. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Sorry we don't have Dakota with us. God, would this have been long if he would have been on here? Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. God, we'd like go right into the Aftercast with it. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and make sure you check us out on the Aftercast, because we're going to be covering more of this stuff in detail and get some different opinions from some other guys as well. So later, guys. Peace.
See ya.